Well, safe to say, Brad Holmes' 2024 free agency has been interesting for the most part. We're going to have a whole bunch of videos coming out today and tomorrow about the signings. I've been busy. Now, this video was originally recorded 2 times on the night that we signed this player. However, they were really bad videos. I wasn't in the mood. My head was hurting. And it was just a bad video in general. So, we're going to redo it. I know it's a couple days later, so my thoughts have fully kicked in now on how I feel about the signing. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the guy we're talking about today is Marcus Davenport. So we have signed Davenport to a 1-year, $10.5 million deal at its max. So that is not his base. His base is $6.5 million. We do not know how much is guaranteed. That's at least what I've known so far. We do not know how much is guaranteed for him. Now, I originally, on the day that this news broke, that Davenport was signed, I was not necessarily happy. I actually called this. Once AJ Epinesa re-signed with the Bills, I'm like, there's a legitimate chance that we could sign Marcus Davenport. And that came true. I wish I had that recorded. It would have been epic. I wasn't happy when we signed him just because Holmes had so many options he could have chose from, and he decided to go with Davenport. Now, I've always been a fan of Davenport. I feel like he's always been an underrated player. It's just the injuries have really affected his career. But then once the news broke what his money was, that's when I really lost my mind, because $10.5 million for a guy who has had, I believe, 2.5 sacks in the past 2 years. I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, like, I was losing my mind when that happened. Because our first signing of free agency that was not a re-sign was a pass rusher who has been injured for the past 2 years, or not, who hasn't been injured, but is a mediocre pass rusher who has had 2.5 sacks in the past 2 years. Luckily, his base is only 6.5. That is still way more, though, than what I expected with the details to come out. I expected his max to be around $6 million, and then his base to be around $3.5 to $4 million. So, it's definitely, I think, more money than I would have signed him for, because there was still a decent amount of options at that time. You had Dante Fowler. You still got Chase Young, who's still a free agent of the making of this video. You had some other guys in there as well that you could have still signed. Now, there are still a couple of pass rushers out there, but when I mean a couple, I mean a literal couple. There's probably 2 pass rushers left out there that can be that second pass rusher guy. Maybe 3. You got Chase Young, you got Jadeveon Clowney, who I guarantee we aren't getting because it just doesn't fit the culture, and then Mike Dana. My boy DJ Wanham got signed today by the Panthers, so he was off my list now, unfortunate. They only paid him $6.5, literally the same amount that we gave Davenport. They got him on a 2-year, I think it was a 2-year, $12.5 or $13 million deal. So we could have had DJ Wanham, who's better in my opinion than Marcus Davenport, on the same base salary for a year. So that's unfortunate, but moving on back to Marcus Davenport, he has a lot of potential. He does. The problem is, he is made of glass. I'm sorry to say that, but he's made of glass. Every time he touches the field, it seems like he always gets hurt. Or every season he plays, it always seems like he gets hurt. I believe he's had basically one full season in his career. And that was 2 years ago. The last year he was on the Saints. I believe he played 16 out of the 17 games. And he only had a half sack. So his career season was with the Saints. The year prior to that, I believe, was the last year on his rookie deal before they picked up his 5th-year option, which then he did nothing. But the year before his 5th-year option, so the last year of his rookie deal without the 5th-year option, was his career year. He had 9 sacks. But yeah, this guy shows a lot of potential. I just don't know about the money. But he will. Right now, our pass rush is looking like this. Hutch number 1, that's good. Davenport number 2. Houston number 3, and Matthew Betts number 4. Not great. Now I say Houston because he got an ERFA tender. So did KO'd Wosika. So they are back. And I didn't know if they were going to be back, but they are back. So there's that news as well. So, but our pass rush is still, we need a guy in the draft or we need to get a Chase Young. Because I could see Dana coming to Detroit, but Jadeveon Clowney, you can almost guarantee it, he's not coming because he does not fit the culture. And Chase Young probably won't either because evidently he gives up on plays and stuff like that, which is not at all fits our culture either. So I would say Mike Dana is the only realistical one there to potentially come to Detroit. But looks like we're going to have to get a guy in the draft. 29th overall, 2nd round, something like that. So, one pride, go Lions. After a couple days, I like this move a little bit more. Still don't love it, though. I would say this is probably my least favorite signing out of the 3 that we've made so far of the making of this video. So, but tell me how you guys feel in the comments. One pride, go Lions.